Hi everyone, it's Anneka and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about my first experience going wig shopping, and hopefully I'll be able to provide some guidance for you guys that are actually, doing that yourselves, going wig shopping for the first time. So I'll just go ahead and dive into it. So this was last year, and about 2 to 3 weeks after I'd found my first bald spot, I was already like at 75% hair loss. And I was wearing a baseball cap, and with the hair that I did have, which was barely any, I would put it, down low in a little bun. But unfortunately, of course, it gotten to the point where even when I wear the baseball cap, like you could see some of my scalp, like the baldness and like the little baseball cap hole where you normally put a ponytail. I don't know what it's called, but it's that spot. So I finally just got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to suck it up and buy a wig. I wasn't looking forward to it. It's something that I never really expected I'd have to do in my life, especially, someone in their 20s. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to buy a wig. What happened was that to prepare myself for it, because I'm someone, I always like to prepare for things before it happens, especially, with this, it was a big deal to me, and I was really nervous. So I did go online, I looked up the difference between all types of wigs, especially the difference between synthetic and real wigs, and the different caps, which I definitely recommend you guys to do before you go wig shopping. Just educate yourself on all of that, and there's so much information online. So I did that, and then I ended up researching a lot of wig shops that were in my area. I read a lot of reviews on them, because of course I want the salesperson or whoever you be, I want the shop to be really nice and have a lot of selection of wigs and, the people. Not a selection of people, but a selection of nice wigs. That's what I meant. Okay, so I finally found a wig shop that I felt like was a great fit for me, and I went ahead and called, made an appointment, and the day of, oh my gosh, you guys, I remember waking up and I was just so nervous, and I was like, okay, you can do this. Like, just trying to calm myself down. Like, it was just one of those things that, made me really anxious. and again, I never thought I'd really have to at this point in my life, buy wigs. So it was an emotional day for me. And fortunately, my husband did go along with me. He did drive in the car, because that whole time I was just thinking like, okay, go to the wig shop, just focus, just stay calm. It's okay. You can get through this. And yeah, a little over dramatic there, but that's what I felt like. And so we finally arrived at the wig shop, parked. Well, we both got out of the car, obviously, got in the wig shop and got checked in. And I ended up having to wait for a few minutes. And I just remember, like, the wig shop, really nice wig shop. And they had rows and rows of wigs in there. There were lots of women. It was actually pretty much all women in there besides my husband. And there's some other women in there also wearing baseball caps to hide, themselves also being bald, kind of like I was. And then, I was finally called up for my appointment. Well, not finally, I didn't really have to wait that long. Like, they were pretty much on time. And so I was called and I was introduced to this, I don't know what you call them, like salesperson or wig expert, don't know. But whatever they're called, she took me into one of the rooms, one of the private rooms, which I was very happy about and very relieved. Because again, it is a really like emotional, very personal experience. And she sat me down, closed the door, and she talked about, okay, what kind of wigs do you want? What length, do you want synthetic, real hair, what color are you interested in? So we did talk about all those varieties. And I hadn't decided whether or not I wanted to go with synthetic or real hair, but I knew that I wanted to go with blondes, or I wanted to try on blonde hair. So at that point, she was like, okay, so since we talked about it, let me go ahead and show you the wigs. And, we walked out and I looked at all the different wigs and I pointed out to a few of them that I wanted to try on. So she took those, and we went back inside the room. And she also went back out and grabbed a couple other wigs that she thought I might like. So I'm sitting down, there's this huge mirror in front of me, and there's a handheld mirror too that helps, look at the back of the wig after you try it on. And, and I took off my baseball cap and whatever hair that I had left. She had one of those like hairnet cap things that I, put on before trying on the wigs, which everyone should, because it's sanitary that way, more sanitary at least, hopefully. And so she did put on one of my wigs, because I had never put on a wig before in my life, like not even like a, you know, like a fake wig for Halloween or something. I did let her, you know, take over on putting the wig completely over my head, and she was fine with it. You know, it's her job, it's what she was used to. And there's sometimes I would try and help and she'd be like, it's okay, you know, I can get it. And I was like, okay, great. So very first wig I tried on was actually not one that I pointed out. And it was actually, I feel like it was a real hair wig. It might have been a Jean Reno, and it cost like over $2,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, like thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, I can't believe the very first wig you put on me is like over $2,000. This is crazy. Like I think we'd gotten over a little bit of a price range too, but that was definitely a bit over. And you do have to remember, guys, whenever you do go to wig shops, and I've experienced this with other wig shops too, like they sometimes do try and sell you the more expensive wigs. So just make sure you keep at it. You're like, no, like this is what I want to buy, price range, blah, blah, blah. But I do remember putting on that very first wig, and because my natural hair was really thin, and there was so much hair, and I remember feeling so uncomfortable, and I was uncomfortable anyways, just because that's me and being in that situation. But again, you know, she was really kind, really nice to me, really great. And yeah, and I think, so I, you know, tried on a couple more wigs, and then at one point, I broke down. Like I started crying, and she was in the room, obviously, and my husband was of course in the room. It wasn't like horrible breakdown crying, like uncontrollable, but I mean, it was definitely, you know, I was crying a little bit in there, and it was an experience for me, and I did apologize to the salesperson, like, I'm so sorry, I was trying to hold it together this entire time and not break down and cry, and she's like, it's okay, like seriously, a lot of people do that in these rooms, you know, that's why we have private rooms, it's okay. And that did make me feel a lot better. But it did also make me not want to try on any more wigs, because I was just tired, I was just done. And so I did have an idea, you know, of a couple wigs that I did like, but I told her that we'd be returning the next weekend to possibly end up buying a wig. And that is actually what happened. We did make an appointment for the next weekend, and I did purchase a wig. For one reason, because I had to, because I was officially like bald by then. But so that was pretty much like, that was my first wig shopping experience. Again, you guys, everyone's a little bit different. Just make sure you really find a shop that you do like. Oh, my nose is itchy, hold on. Whew. Just make sure you do find a shop that you really do like, and that you are gonna feel comfortable in. And that you do have someone with you to support you, especially in my situation where I just started crying in the middle of trying on wigs. Actually, nowadays, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I get so excited going to wig shops and buying wigs. I look forward to it now. So actually just thinking of, you know, telling that story the first time I went shopping, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so different than the way I am now. So, I mean, you do get used to it eventually, but, you know, it can be tough in the beginning, and that's completely fine. It's okay, guys. But, well, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And again, you know, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Bye.